I'm just getting ready for the spoon carving class, which we promoted as spooning for singles on this Valentine's Day. So, and I'm bringing extra water for the girls because all the pipes are frozen. I have my axe, an axe and a hatchet for splitting up pieces for the students to carve, and then I have a number of, in here are some examples of spoons and things, and then some extra knives and stuff for folks that don't bring their own. Safety, emergency, kit for any cuts and stuff. A little mug for drinking some hot tea. You know what it means when I'm packing stuff up, don't you? Yeah. Well, you're next. Okay. My name is Jens Rasmussen. I've lived in Greenpoint, Brooklyn for 19 years. I'm an actor, and I also teach outdoor skills like canoeing and fire making. All right, ladies, let's go. And I'm a dog daddy. We can get to the boat club and start a fire. In the wilderness survival class that I teach, the primary element is learning how to make fire in wilderness living and wilderness survivals. Fire is a tool that can make water safe to drink. It can help you maintain your body temperature so you don't die of hypothermia. It can be used to process food, to make it more digestible. By cooking it, it makes it more digestible, so the food that you have goes further. And then, hello. Okay, what is up with you? The other maybe more important thing, if you can't have a dog with you, a fire is a great companion. It is, fire is, our first central social focal point. But nothing is probably as powerful as fire. It is the single most powerful tool that, humankind has ever wielded, really. What is it, baby? Yeah? You want it, huh? You want to eat that cat? That would be most unladylike. The whole fire class and survival stuff all started because I was teaching canoe skills at the North Brooklyn Boat Club, just a couple blocks from this place, my house. And when we would get back from the trips or the instruction, we would make a fire, and people started asking, hey, teach me this, teach me that. When people get out on the water in a canoe or a kayak and they experience the power of that water and overcome it, they turn on. Like there's a euphoria or excitement that you can see come over them that is not dissimilar to the excitement and click or shift that happens when somebody makes their first fire, connecting back to something our ancestors were doing millennia ago. It's cool. It's cool to watch people have that experience. I think it's profoundly changing. All right, here comes some folks. So push it in a little bit. Push it in a little bit, and then turn that little tongue in, and then pull it out. There you go. It's the first IQ test. That's Millie. Three-legged is Gertie.
What's his name?
Millie and Gertie. Mildred and Gertrude.
Millie.
All right, Brian.
Come on in, Brian. Here's some examples of some things you can do. Carving. This is just a spatula, butter knife, a small spoon, and this spoon has been carved. This one too, actually, using not using a hook knife. Like, who brought the hook knife? What's your name? Emma brought a hook knife, and you can scoop that out, but there's also a technique where you can take a coal from the fire and you drop it on here and you just blow on it a little bit and you burn it on. It's called coal burning. No. Yeah, this piece could be split again. So, looking at knives to divvy up. All right, go. Don't be shy. Sitting down, I want your elbows on your knees so that your work is out here in front of you, okay? This is called a chest lever. And this is really good, especially when you're first starting out, because it's very powerful and very safe. So you're using your back muscles actually, and you turn the knife around. So in a normal thing, you're kind of holding it with the blade pointing away from you and you're pushing away from you. Now for a chest lever, you turn the blade in towards your hand, put your thumb on the top of the blade, and you can make really deep cuts. I grew up in Wisconsin, kind of a small town called Oshkosh. I like to describe my sort of family as being a group of Scandinavian craftsmen. I can give you a different piece of wood if you'd like it. I've come to think of that as being very informative to who I've become in terms of growing up with such a intimate, hilarious, easy understanding of like where things come from. I have come to cherish that understanding. You know, that the intense amount of energy that goes into making something. Like if you make something yourself from like that pack basket over there in the corner of the room. If you go out in the woods and cut down a tree and split that tree into pieces that are light enough for you to carry out, and then you carry it out and then you pound it until it's into little strips, and then you cut the little strips, and then you weave the little strips, and then you finish it. And like when you go through a process like that where you make something out of nothing, I don't know, for me it changes my relationship to the worth of something. And you know, I had to kill an 80-year-old tree to make that basket. Few people finish their first spoon in 3 hours. So on this part, because we're going narrower, you want to cut this way towards the handle. Otherwise, if you cut this way, because of the grain, it'd be like petting a cat against their hair, and so it'll catch. The knife will kind of want to catch in there. So you want to go so that you're making the grain lay down, and you can feel it even gets pretty smooth in there. So that way. Downhill is one way to describe it. So if you're going to hold it that way, you're going to be cutting that way. Now make sure your fingers back, yeah, so, yeah, just like that, like a little scooping movement. And you can put here's where it is helpful sometimes to even use
like a whole like
chickadee chunk.
Great.
All right, we got to be careful about that. We don't want to.
I was wondering if you could help me do a little shortcut on
Yes.
this handle.
Yeah, no, you got. Yeah, she's got a wicked tail. I am proud. Chest lever's not easy. chest lever's not easy. Careful about starting to cut too far back. Metal must not touch flesh. And I find this technique where you're technically cutting towards yourself, but your elbow's tucked, and you're just using, blowing helps speed it up a little bit, but because the coal is light, it'll blow off. So I definitely derive enjoyment in revealing things that are right there to people that can't see them. Right? And so that is absolutely a common theme in teaching fire and leading trips on the East River. They're both things that are absolutely right there and that you can discover on your own. But sometimes it's helpful to have a guide, and it's really, really satisfying to be that guide and to facilitate that discovery in someone. It's beautiful to be able to be there and watch that moment when someone has that transformation.
This is fun.
A lot of people, the coal burning is a lot of people's favorite part of the whole process.
It's so beautiful to watch. The coal itself is really lovely.
It's primal.
Yeah. Like,
they're both rescues, of course. Mildred we adopted as a puppy, and she's had a very, untraumatic life, but she's like scared of new things. Gertie's, aren't you, baby? Yeah. Her leg was paralyzed after Hurricane Sandy and had to be amputated, so we fell in love with her. We met her at the dog park where we took Millie, and one family came to look at her to adopt her, and we were like, they're not good enough for her, we better keep her. So we ended up with 2. This is good. That's great. She's a good dog.